The big house was quiet and sad. Even with all the beautiful marble floors and tall windows letting in sunshine, it felt empty. Victor Harrington was the richest man in the city. He owned tall buildings and companies all over the world. But right now, none of that mattered. His little girl, Alina, was very sick. The doctors said she only had 3 months to live. For a man who could buy anything he wanted, these words hurt more than losing all his money ever could. If you like stories about being kind, giving people second chances, and how love can fix broken hearts, please hit the like button. Share this video with someone who needs hope. Write what you think in the comments, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. When you support us, we can keep telling stories that really matter. Victor used to spend his days in nice suits, meeting rooms made of glass, and making quick decisions. But now, his whole world was just the quiet room where Alina stayed in bed. She was only 8 years old. Her hair was gone because of all the medicine treatments. Her smile was weak, but it still made her father's heart break with love. He brought the best doctors from everywhere in the world. He flew them to his house in private planes. He paid them more money than most people see in their whole lives. But every doctor looked at him with sad eyes and shook their heads. 3 months, they all said. No magic cure. Nothing that money could fix. Then someone new came into this sad house. Someone most people didn't even notice. Her name was Marisol. She was a cleaning lady who had worked for the Harrington family for less than 1 year. People knew her for her gentle hands and quiet voice. She was the kind of person who made others feel better just by being there. Every morning, she did her work. She cleaned the big staircases, made the fancy lights shine, and scrubbed the marble floors. She tried not to make noise in the sad, quiet house. But she couldn't help but see Alina. Marisol watched the little girl sit by the window with her toys. Alina was too weak to run and play like other kids. Marisol saw the sadness in Alina's eyes when she heard other children laughing and playing in the nearby yards. She watched Victor try to make his daughter happy with expensive gifts, beautiful dolls, and fancy things. But none of these things could fill the empty feeling that came from being so sick. One day, while Marisol was cleaning the glass table in the living room, she heard a small voice behind her. Alina was standing there. The sunlight made her tiny body look even smaller. She was holding an old teddy bear that looked like it might fall apart. Her voice was shaking when she asked, "Do you think I'm going to live, Miss Marisol?" Marisol stopped moving. Her heart felt like it was breaking because the question was so innocent and sad. She wanted to tell Alina everything would be okay, but she couldn't lie. Instead, she got down on her knees and hugged Alina tight. She whispered, "Sometimes life gives us surprises when we don't expect them. Don't stop believing, sweet girl." From that moment, something changed inside Marisol. She couldn't just stand there and watch this child get sicker and sicker. She didn't have money like Victor did. She didn't know about medicine like the doctors did. But she had something else. She had hope that came from her own hard life. Marisol used to be a mother too. Many years ago, in a small town far away from this big fancy house, she had a daughter who got very sick. She didn't have money for expensive doctors, so she tried natural ways to help her daughter feel better. She took care of her with love and never stopped believing that love itself could be like medicine. Even though her daughter didn't get better and died, Marisol learned that comfort, happiness, and hope could make people stronger in ways that medicine couldn't. She started spending more time with Alina, not as a cleaning lady but as a friend. She taught her how to fold paper into tiny birds and butterflies. She baked simple cakes in the huge kitchen and let Alina put sugar on top with her shaky hands. She sang songs in Spanish that filled the air with warmth. She even got Alina to plant a flower in the garden, telling her they would watch it grow together every day. Little by little, Alina started to smile more. Her laugh, which was very quiet at first, began to fill the hallways again. Victor saw the change. He would come home from work meetings and see his daughter clapping while Marisol made balloon animals. Or he would see them sitting in the garden with a small shovel, planting marigolds and roses with Alina's weak hands. For the first time in months, Victor felt something different. Alina was still sick, but she seemed more alive than she had been before. This confused Victor, and it also made him feel humble. The woman he barely said hello to each morning was giving his daughter something that all his money couldn't buy. But Victor's heart was still scared. He was afraid to hope because he had already prepared himself to lose his daughter. Every night, he sat next to Alina's bed, watching her breathe, wondering how many more nights he had left with her. Then came the day that changed everything. Alina suddenly got much worse. Her skin became very pale. Her small body was shivering even though she had warm blankets. The doctors rushed in again, filling the room with medical words and cold machines. Victor stood there feeling helpless, his throat getting tight with fear. He thought this was the end. But while everyone else was looking at machines and charts, Marisol quietly went to Alina's side. She held the girl's hand and whispered stories about being brave. She told her how flowers fight through dirt to reach the sun. She talked about how her own daughter once taught her that the heart is stronger than anyone thinks. She started humming a soft song, her voice steady, putting every bit of love she had left into that scary moment. Something amazing happened. Alina's breathing became calmer. Her tiny hand held Marisol's fingers with surprising strength. The doctors couldn't understand it. Her heartbeat got steadier. Her skin color slowly came back. No new medicine had been given. No new treatment had started. But Alina was fighting back, powered by something that couldn't be measured on charts and numbers. Victor watched in shocked silence, tears running down his face. He realized that while he had been trying to buy more time with his wealth, Marisol had been giving his daughter a reason to want to stay alive. It wasn't just care she was giving. It was love, the kind that doesn't care about money, job titles, or social status. In that moment, the billionaire fell to his knees next to the cleaning lady. He felt grateful and guilty at the same time. Days became weeks. Alina's strength grew bit by bit. She still had problems, but she wasn't getting weaker anymore. She laughed more often. She painted pictures for her father. She watered the flower she and Marisol had planted, which was now blooming beautifully in the garden. The doctors, who had been so sure she would die, admitted they had never seen such fighting spirit. Victor no longer cared about their predictions. He had learned to measure life not in months, but in smiles, hugs, and special moments. One afternoon, Victor asked Marisol to come to his office. The sunlight showed the tears in his eyes as he told her she was no longer just a cleaning lady. She was family. He offered to pay for anything she needed, but she shook her head gently. All she wanted was to keep being with Alina. That was all the reward she needed. The big house, which used to be silent and cold, now filled with laughter again. Alina's future was still not certain, but the hopeless countdown had been stopped. And Victor, the man who once believed money could buy every answer, had learned the biggest truth of all. Sometimes the most valuable gift comes from the most simple heart. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with people you love, subscribe to Kindness Corner, and write a comment below. Your support helps us keep spreading hope and kindness around the world. And before we finish, tell us in the comments, do you believe love and kindness can heal more than medicine sometimes? We would love to hear what you think, because in the end, it wasn't billions of dollars that gave Alina her strength. It was a cleaning lady's love, a flower in the garden, and the belief that even in the darkest times, kindness can bring light.